Yo, we're gonna go ahead and get started. What's up, y'all? Big Champ. Steve's not gonna be with us tonight. And we're gonna keep this real short and sweet. Straight to the point. It's just a lot happening. So we just definitely wanted to touch bases with y'all, make sure check everybody's temperature, give y'all some gems like usual. But this is episode 14. Appreciate y'all, as always, for joining us and being on point. Today we're gonna talk about Solana's new partnership. FTX Insolvency is big news. It's causing a lot of chaos and a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. As you guys can see, the LBRY case, it concluded. So we're going to just briefly discuss that. I'm going to give you guys the PDF to it, the Dropbox to the link, so you guys can see the actual court documents as to why the SEC won that. And then 3.36 billion Bitcoin was just seized a little less than 48 hours ago. So we're going to discuss that and tell you, a little bit of backstory behind that. So without further ado, first things first, Solana. So Solana is one of Steve's choices, right? He likes this project. He believes in a project, and I believe they have a lot of potential. This can be a great project going forward. I'm just not sold with all of I'm just not sold with the project itself. Seems like every time there's big news behind the project, there's another network outage. So when you're talking about sustainability, efficacy of a blockchain, it has to be running. Like the XRP ledger, it's never had downtime ever since inception. So even Ethereum, I always bring this up because this is important to know. In 1 month, there was 1.7 million transactions that were blocked and were halted on the Ethereum blockchain. And people were still charged unnecessary fees for a transaction that never fully was executed. So I want you guys to understand like the kind of inner workings of these projects. Don't just look at, their partnerships and just leave it there. Don't just look at price and just leave it there. Actually look at the downtime, look at their partnerships, look at what they actually do, their use case, what problems do they solve. Look at, just everybody who's taking the boot camp, you guys already know this information. But, it's deeper than price. And I want you guys to truly understand that. Today should have been a wake-up call for anybody who's just a price buff. If that's one of the only things that you focus on, as you can see at the top, a Cointelegraph is showing you where everything is at right now. Bitcoin is down to 15,000. It's 15.7. So we called it. We told you it was going to 12 and under. Steve called. We revised it. We said it's going to 10. I don't know if it's going to happen on this run, but this is definitely a catalyst that could cause that to happen. So understand when you get these big price swings and there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, just know everything else is going to fall with it. Anytime Bitcoin moves, the market follows, right? So now that that's out the way, this is major though. And this is one thing I'm actually proud of Solana for. So they just unveiled 2 or 3 days ago. It was late in the evening. They just revealed that they have a new partnership with Google, right? And it's for their cloud network services. And it was at a 4-day conference that they just had from the 4th to the 7th. And so the thing with Solana is this is going to be major because Google Cloud puts them, this partnership, this is going to be a big competitor for Apple. They're going to come out with a bunch of projects, and just the way you have ease of use on iPhones and you're able to store a lot of things when you're using the cloud. But essentially, Solana just moved into that space. So this is kind of going to put them in the runnings, and this brings a lot of eyes on crypto and blockchain itself. So I want you guys to, I'm going to drop these links so you guys have them. But I want you guys to just be, just have your eyes open because there's a lot that's going on right now in the space. And just a couple of days ago, it felt like nothing was happening. It just kind of felt quiet, felt like nothing was going on. The market was kind of balanced. There was no, big news that came out. And then when everybody got comfortable and it was just like this eerie silence in the space, boom, You had the FTX situation, you had LBRY case drop, you had new partnerships announced. You have the market that's bloody, super red right now. So everybody's in a panic. A lot of people who were staking, they're moving their funds off of these exchanges, which they shouldn't have done anyway. But we didn't have a voice that was able to reach, so many people. We know our group, we know you guys, the university students. That's a bad move. Don't stake anything right now. Don't put your money on any of these platforms, any of these exchanges. And, of course, we're going to get into that. So next, we're going to move into the LBRY case. So I came in on the tail end of this. I actually didn't know much about LBRY and what they did. I didn't even know that they were in litigation. Steve actually brought this to my attention. My focus was really, really on Ripple and XRP's case. So James Fallon, he's a lawyer and he reports on a lot of the big cases. So anytime there's like summary judgments or there's any amicus briefs that get added, these guys normally do a lot of the great coverage, which is awesome because this is what we need. We need people who are able to translate legalese into just basic information so that people can digest it and understand it. So on the 7th, 2 days ago, this was Monday, he came out, and this was when the judgment was released formally. They said LBRY offered LBC as a security and that they couldn't use the fair notice defense, so they lost. All right. I actually have the case files, the case docs. This is the actual memorandum. So the dockets and all that good stuff. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I already dropped it inside of Discord, but I want you guys to actually take your time and just read through it. Some of it, it has a lot of legal jargon in it, but I want you guys to truly read this and really understand what this is about. So essentially, I'm going to summarize this fairly briefly. So what they did was they used the fair notice defense, and nobody still has clarity at this point. So I just want you guys to understand that. With this case, the SEC just came at a bunch of small players and they're overreaching, right? They're extending their reach to a lot of companies in this blockchain space. And it is basically terrorizing the space as a whole, right? From the development side, from the innovation side, all the way down to the retail consumers, right? There's no clarity. So it's kind of like a free-for-all. Like a lot of companies are coming out because they're trying to innovate. They're seeing the disadvantages that certain projects have that are out now, and they're trying to do what these other companies are striving to do, but they're also trying to do it better. And when the SEC basically has their sights set on you, what they're doing is they're calling these people in, and this has been the case for too long now. It's pretty much getting old. So like I said, I'm a little bit desensitized to this, but the reality is in this space, the SEC should not have that much power. They should not have the ability to just call any company or a cryptocurrency company or crypto leaders or the blockchain into the SEC's office just to talk to them, and then out of nowhere just say, hey, listen, we want to talk to you guys. We want to know more about your project, when they already know about these people. They know it already, right? Gary Gensler, he's the head of the SEC. This guy he's extremely bright. He knew when he first came into this space and he came into his role at the SEC, he used to teach at MIT, and he used to teach about blockchains and cryptocurrency years before he took this space, before he took this position. So he's very, very well knowledgeable of everything that's going on in this space. And when he's extending his hand out to these people to come into the SEC to have a sit down, what he's doing is he's basically baiting and switching. He'll tell everybody, come on in, let's have a talk, let's just discuss certain things. And out of nowhere, you'll see maybe a week or two later, sometimes a couple months down the road, it's almost like this is strategic. Like he calls you guys in, and then out of nowhere, there's a lawsuit, right? And a lot of these companies, they do not have the capital to fight against the SEC. So what happens is they're being judged, automatically. They know they don't have the capital to fight the SEC. So a lot of times these guys are scared. And they also want to just basically show the SEC that, hey, listen, we're on the same page. We want to be here. We want to be as transparent as possible. But then the SEC files lawsuit against these guys. And it's like you're coming into the space and you're being a bully. And in the process of doing so, it's horrible because you're doing this and it's stifling innovation. It's crippling the cryptocurrency space, right? So all of these companies, they don't know what legally they have to do in order to have a compliant blockchain or a compliant crypto. And the SEC is not providing that clarity. So it's almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? And that's just not it. That's not how any financial market or emerging market itself should operate. You know what I mean? Nobody should just be scared of one bully because they have so much power. So this is why we know that we're actually hoping. I can't say we know because there's a lot that's to come. Outside of the Black Swan event, we know that there has to be some sort of pivot. It has to be a distribution of power, or what's going to happen is all of the other lawsuits are going to start to happen simultaneously, right? We're going to have one that comes with this FTX situation. Understand that. But outside of that, you've got companies that aren't even on the radar yet, you know, in the retail space. We're blindly going in and we're investing because these are great projects. The SEC is sitting back, they're not saying anything, but they're going to file suit against a lot of these players, right? So the reason the whole cryptocurrency space is backing Ripple right now is because they see the SEC for what they are. This case right here, there was no reason why LBRY should have lost this case, right? Even if they did sell alleged securities in the beginning, right? There's still no clarity. So you won't know what you're selling until you're brought into litigation, and then you have to lose to know that you sold the security. It doesn't make sense. So right now, a lot of different companies and blockchains and just Fortune 500 companies are coming in and they're rallying behind Ripple and the XRP case because they know if we don't stop the SEC, they're going to continuously do this. And in their eyes, everything is a security, right? The SEC just basically blankets the entire space and says, listen, we want everything to be a security. If everything is security, it all falls under our jurisdiction, which is not the case. So whenever we do get actual law and regulatory clarity for the space, we really are hoping that the DTCC is going to be one of the parties who actually gets to regulate, you know, outside of the SEC. That power has to be distributed. So that's one of those things that we discussed on the previous laws that had came out with Senator Gillibrand. I can't remember what document that was, but you know, when they released that, that was a good framework that everybody should have kind of looked into. And I believe we were supposed to actually touch bases on that, but I don't think we ever got back to it. But all in all, we need something that just basically removes the power from the SEC and gives it, you know, to different bodies, right? So that we can have some kind of fairness. We can still keep innovation. These markets won't be so shaky. Prices won't be so volatile. And then we can, you know, we can get on with the fireworks because it's definitely past time. Especially for me and Steve, we've been here for the longest, and it's kind of annoying to keep seeing the same story play out over and over again. But yeah, you guys will get this doc. It's 22 pages from beginning to end. And you guys can skim through it. You don't have to read every single page, but it just basically summarizes that LBC was a security and that they lost because they tried to use the fair notice. They tried to use fair notice and it didn't work. It couldn't be applicable. So the judge kind of overruled it. Now it's a security. LBRY has not shut down what they're doing. They still continue to operate, and they said they will continue to operate. And they left a statement in their header. It says the best is next to come. The best is yet to come. So this lets me know that this company is just going to continue to do what they do. They're going to continue to build and innovate. And that's just that. They're not worried about anybody stopping what they're doing, which is awesome. I actually like that. I commend these guys for that. All right, so the other day, this was on Monday, the 7th. The Fed seized 3.36 billion Bitcoin that was stolen during the Silk Road's time. So this happened about 10, 11 years ago. This was a while ago. It was shut down in 2013. But long story short, there's a gentleman by the name of James Shang, I believe. I may be pronouncing it wrong, but Silk Road, for those of you who do not know, this was a early marketplace where it was Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And on this exchange, you were able to trade, you were able to buy, sell. But a lot of times these guys were purchasing, body parts, organs, drugs, guns, anything that you can name. It was all being sold on the Silk Road marketplace. This was like the eBay of black market stuff, right? So it was horrible. I know you guys who have been here for a while, you've heard me say this a couple times. It's like, yo, Bitcoin will never be the one because of the black cloud that's over his head. When it first came into the game, this is what they were doing, and this is how it was utilized. So now, present day, there was a big heist that occurred back in 2012, 2013. And they end up shutting the Silk Road marketplace down, right? The FBI and a couple different bodies, they came and shut everything down. This whole time, they were trying to figure out where the stolen Bitcoin was. So they had a couple people that were, in a hot seat, but nobody ever claimed to know where this Bitcoin was. It was basically just gone, right? I don't know what the update was that tipped them off, but they were able to track down the Bitcoin all the way back to this gentleman, James Shang. He was in Gainesville, Georgia. He was literally sitting inside of his house, heard the knock at the door. They entered, arrested him, and he was in possession of all the Bitcoin. So it was 3.36 billion. This is one of the reasons why today you see the market is extremely red. And it's going to stay this way for probably another 2 or 3 days. Anytime that you see the market move like this, just understand it's going to be red. So anybody who's still interested in purchasing crypto and you want to invest, I'm going to tell you 2 things to do. This is an ideal time to do it because you're getting it on sale, right? You're getting it cheaper. 2, and this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you guys, strategy-wise, this is a good way to do it. Anytime that you're able to get something cheaper and you believe in a project, invest in it, plus up. Make sure as soon as you buy it, you get it off the exchange. We cannot stress this enough. I'm tired of saying it. I'm pretty sure Steve is tired of saying it, and I'm almost 1,000% sure y'all are probably tired of hearing it. But not your keys, not your cheese, right? Everybody who, in the sound of my voice, anybody who watches this playback video, do not buy crypto and leave it on these exchanges. Time and time again, you guys are going to keep being made examples. And of retail, you guys, just so we're clear, retail investors are you and I, right? It's us. Anytime we invest in something and we're trusting these exchanges and we're keeping our crypto on these exchanges, we're doing ourselves a disservice, because what's going to happen is they're going to continue to manipulate these markets. We don't have clarity, so they're going to keep doing this. And they've done this ever since I've been in the space. You're going to put your crypto on these exchanges. Something's going to happen. They'll either short it, manipulate the market and short it, or they'll run it up. When they run it up, they're basically pricing people out. So when Bitcoin was way up to almost 70,000, think about it. How many people had 70,000 to just buy a whole Bitcoin? They didn't. It wasn't a lot of people in the retail space that had it, right? So now that Bitcoin is now back down to these numbers, we're at 15, 16,000 right now. That's way more feasible. But think about the people who were buying at the top. And then think about the people who were trading, right? There was people who had longs for Bitcoin hearing the news, hey, Bitcoin is going to 250,000. Bitcoin is going to $1 million a coin. All of this speculation was going on, but a lot of this was just FUD. It was just nonsense, right? People was just, it was a lot of FOMO going on. People were just spreading misinformation. So the person that's coming into space and they're ignorant, they don't know better, they're investing their hard-earned money, and then the market tanks. So what happens to those longs? These people get liquidated. So they'll short it, drop the price all the way back to these levels like where we're at right now. The people who had shorts, they've made tons of money, and that's mostly the institutional guys. These guys are trading the hedge funds guys. These guys made millions and millions of dollars just shorting and manipulating the market, because all it takes is a couple dollars, or all it takes is misinformation, or events like FTX. You see it. These guys are telling you that they are back 1-to-1 and they have all of this money on hand and they're buying things, so they're trying to show strength, but it's all dog and pony show. It's all smoke and mirrors. So that's why we tell you guys, and I hope by now it kind of settled in, because at some point we're just going to stop saying it. You guys have to learn the hard way, right? And we don't want that for you, but sometimes that's the best teacher, because it's happened to me a multitude of times, investing in Deegan projects and things like that. And you just kind of throwing money at things like, all right, this could go up 30%, 40%, but I've got 1 million coins and I'm, buying in at such a great entry. I'll take the risk. And then the project bottoms out. It's a rug pull. Things like that. You just blindly trusting projects. And these guys are crooks. At the end of the day, that's just what it boils down to. So even with the Silk Road situation, these guys were crooks. Even though they were getting shut down, these guys still managed to steal Bitcoin. It was fraudulent from the jump. These guys took Bitcoin, hoarded it, sent it to other wallets. It was shut down, because of what it was doing. Of course, you're doing human trafficking and, arms dealing and things like that. That's not going to last. So as the internet grew, it basically showed the bad side of it. So there's always a catch with everything. So I want you guys to take heed to this, because as you guys begin to invest in more and more projects, you have to understand the connections and what these guys are based in. Some of the CEOs and a couple people who are on the board, look into these guys, look into what they're investing in, right? Or their backgrounds, because some of these guys came from some of the same projects that were rug pulls. They just changed their name. They might change their Twitter handle. Sometimes they don't even do that. These guys just jump to another project, create something else, rinse and repeat. And ultimately, who gets affected the worst is us, the retail investor, right? There's no insurance for us. There is insurance by the FDIC for institutional guys. So always understand that. We are the guys who get the most disservice from the things we're investing in, right? So that's why we stress doing your due diligence before you put any money into anything. And you guys got to just basically stay abreast of this news, right? The average person there would see this and, they just wouldn't think nothing of it. Some people were probably laughing, I told you guys not to invest in Bitcoin, not realizing, that you guys were already predisposed to this. You knew that the market was going to tank from the levels that it previously was at. It just wasn't healthy. It couldn't sustain. So you guys pulled some money out. You had money on the sidelines waiting for events like this to happen. Now you're able to buy in. And when you guys buy in, you're able to buy more volume at a cheaper price. And the upside is just more profit for you. So those same people laughing on the sidelines, you leave those people where they're at. There's no real reason to, kind of explain yourself or run the story down to these guys, because some people, they're just hell-bent on bad things happening to other people. So, those would be the people that are just the users at the end of the day. And everybody here would be multimillionaires and billionaires, with money to do what they need to do. So that is what it is. But yeah, I want you guys to look into this. But 3.36 billion, this is heavy. And I want you guys to understand that it's the Justice Department, and this was official. We had it here. So this is from the actual Department of Justice. I was able to pull this up, and this was the release on the same day. So it's 50,676 Bitcoins that they seized from hidden devices from this guy's home. And this all was from Silk Road. So you guys can read the backstory, just, kind of familiarize yourself with it. But I think what's going to happen is with all the seized Bitcoin, this is going to be another reason why we get even more red. The Department of Justice, they're going to offload this. I cannot see them holding this for the life of me. They're going to offload it. And when they offload it, they're going to liquidate it. It's probably going to go to an auction. That's how a lot of some of these maxis, these Bitcoin maxis, some of these got Tim Draper. He's one of them. He procured a ton of Bitcoin in its early days for extremely cheap. He got it from an auction. And it was from a government auction. It was seized Bitcoin, and that's where he bought it from. So he was able to get it for, pennies on the dollar. And, now when you look at it, we're at 16,000 a coin. You know what I mean? So even at these prices, these guys are still up 50 million, 100 million, etc. But, this is what it is. And I just think the Justice Department, they're going to offload this. That's going to be huge sell pressure because that's a lot of Bitcoins. Especially if they do it all at once. It could get nasty. Just that move alone, you could probably see a $3,000 to $4,000 decline in the price of Bitcoin just off of this being liquidated, right? Also, what people aren't realizing is you just had FTX crash. With FTX crashing, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. So people get scared. Whenever there's a lot of things that just kind of burst on the scene and things just start happening, people get scared. And the first thing they do is they remove their money out the market. So even if you were holding it on your cold storage, right? This is different. If you're a person who buys and holds, it is what it is, right? You're going to have increases, decreases. That's the way the market cycles. They're going to continuously do that. And then at some point, you're going to start to have higher highs and lower lows, right? The market will do what it needs to do, and then it'll repeat itself. Those who took the boot camp, you guys know, you know the phases of the market cycle. But this is for the people who's actually trading, right? When people instantly see that there's bad news going on in the market, they say, okay, I'm going to take my money out. I'm going to protect what I do have. And I don't want to hold through the losses because you typically don't lose until you actually sell. I just want to be clear. But this is people's mentality. They feel like, listen, I need to offload this and get this off of my portfolio. I need to liquidate and get my cash. Fine. You'll see the downtrend happen and then people buy back in. That's strategic. That's strategy, right? That's sound investing. It's risky because sometimes you're not going to be able to get those entries. As you all see, Binance is down. FTX was down. I'm having issues with KuCoin. I'm not able to make a purchase. So even while all this market movement was going on, I wasn't able to get in. I've been dealing with a ticket I had to put in with KuCoin for the past 2 days. So a lot of these exchanges, they're going to lock you out because they're manipulating the market. So those are the people who are in, you're in, right? So if you're locked into, let's say you're doing DeFi and you're staking, if you had your money on these exchanges and FTX was one of them, you shit out of luck. You've lost your money, right? So that's just one of those things you have to understand. We can tell you a million times, but sometimes you don't really, it doesn't resonate until you start to lose money. And when it happens to you, then you're like, oh, I should have took heed. I should have listened to Champ. I should have listened to Steve. I knew better. And then you never make this mistake again. That's your lesson. You know what I mean? That's the silver lining in all of this. All right. So this is the hot thing on the tape right now. And you guys can still see my screen, right?
Yeah, you good.
All right, bet. So with this FTX and Binance situation, there's a couple different ways that you could look at this. It's almost laughable, but this is wild. And I want you guys to understand why it's such a big deal, right? So Binance and FTX are two of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges, period, right? Binance handles the grunt of cryptocurrency transactions, right? I think Binance is number one. It tops the list, right? So FTX was a very, very strong competitor up until a couple of days ago. So CZ from Binance, which is Binance's CEO, and Sam Bankman, these guys have been going back and forth for the past couple of days. And it was laughable, of course, through Twitter. People see the information and they laugh. It's kind of something that keeps you engaged, but it's not so serious. It's just like, okay, you hear two titans going at it. So they're having a pissing match with each other. But this has been going on for a couple months under the radar, right? So when Celsius went down, FTX stepped in. FTX's CEO is Sam Bankman, right? Sam Bankman-Fried. He also owns the sister company, Alameda Research. Alameda Research has $14.7 billion of assets, right? Out of that 14 billion, 6 billion was in FTT, right? FTT is FTX's stablecoin, right? When Celsius went down, FTX went to the courts, Binance went to the courts, and they both submitted bids to be able to acquire the liquidated assets from Celsius, right? They wanted to own those assets. So the banks and the courts essentially told Binance, listen, we're going to accept FTX's offer, but then they backpedaled and they basically canceled that out. It was like, all right, listen, we're not going to go through with this. We're not going to allow this bid. And FTX, Sam Bankman, he went to Celsius and actually attempted to buy Celsius. He was one of the bids they submitted. So they didn't want FTX to get that large, right? It would have been unfair, right? So they just felt like FTX would have been too large of an institution and it's not regulated. So they was just like, yo, this will never happen. So they shut it down. Binance felt a little salty about that. So CZ, he became more and more vocal over the past months, but he knew something wasn't right with FTX and what they were doing with FTT, right? So follow me. FTT is FTX's stablecoin. Alameda is the sister company of FTX. It is also owned and ran by Sam Bankman-Fried. So he's running FTX and Alameda. With Alameda, they're holding $6 billion in FTT. With them having so much of it, Sam Bankman, what he was doing was he was using it as collateral, but he was taking out loans from different places. Institutionally, he did it had a 320, I can't remember the valuation. I think it was 320 billion, if I'm not mistaken. It was something outrageous. But they had a super valuation on it. And I think this was chess, right? I'm kind of giving this guy credit just because I'm looking at his recent tweets and I'm kind of seeing what these guys are doing. And I really just give him that credit because this guy, CZ, he's super petty, right? Just over these past couple of days, all these tweets he's been putting out, he's super petty, right? But I think what he was doing was he played chess and he made Sam Bankman come out and actually tell the world that, look, we're in a hole, we need help. So now they go from a pissing match to Binance having the upper hand, Sam Bankman coming to him like, hey, listen, we need help. Let's do this for the crypto community. And then he had to actually announce this to the world, like, listen, we're in the hole. So as of right now, they're at a $6 to $8 billion deficit. And Sam Bankman just now, this just came out as we started the live. He just filed for bankruptcy. He personally owes lenders over $650 million personally. So this literally just came out. So yeah, Jay, you're right. It was 32 billion. I think I said 320. That was outrageous, but 32 billion. So it's just like when you look at these companies, you're looking at them like, yo, these guys are too big to fail. but it's all smoke and mirrors. You're being lied to, and you looking at their offerings, and we keep telling you guys, stay away from these staking platforms. Don't have your assets on these platforms. And what happens? They halt withdrawals. And this is during all of this pissing match, right? When Binance gets the upper hand, Sam Bankman comes out and he tells the world, he's like, hey, listen, we're 8 million in the hole. I mean, we're 8 billion in the hole. We're down bad right now. We need help. We need somebody to come bail us out. Binance was willing to do so. So he signed a letter of intent. He had them sign a letter of intent, and he was going to purchase it. But in the process, he had to let Sam Bankman tell the world this, right? So now everybody was going crazy over FTX, thinking they had all of this money. They were purchasing other companies. They were bailing out other companies. There's a lot of investors that were, sports enthusiasts, that were sports players. These guys, we had NFL players, basketball players, like the whole works. And the whole time, now you have institutional guys who are being negatively affected because these guys just had capital raises twice. And where's the money? So if Sam Bankman right now just filed for bankruptcy, he owes over $650 million, and they're in a $8 billion hole right now with FTX and these other lenders. Just think about this. The ship is going down. It's sinking. There's nobody that's going to come in. And the reason why they actually backed out today is because after the guys with Binance, right? So after the guys who were close with the deal, these guys actually did their due diligence, and they just seen there was such mismanagement of funds. They're like, listen, we're backing out of the deal. There's nothing we can do. So now what's going to happen is everybody who had their funds on FTX, your funds are gone. You probably will never, ever see those again, right? There's going to be lawsuits that come. And the crazy part, I just found this out, again, right before we started this call. The digital asset investor, he just posted that the SEC sat down with FTX and Sam Bankman a couple times this year. So if this guy was mismanaging money and funneling everything through Alameda Research and was collateralizing FTT, that means this has been going on for probably a year, probably 2 years now. I mean, it's easy to take money and blow through money, but it's super hard in terms of crypto when you have the blockchain and you can track on-chain transactions. These guys literally had billions of dollars. Where's the money? Even just millions. Just think about this in terms of millions. Where would you hide millions of dollars? Like, where's the money going? So now with Alameda Research having FTT and Solana, those were two of their major holdings, right? So now the only way to kind of liquidate is to say, you're gonna have to liquidate the FTT. Those are your two largest holdings, FTT, and you're gonna have to liquidate the Solana. So now Solana is about to take a super hit, and it's already down. Oh man, it looks bad, but they're gonna offload that. And then the FTT is gone. So as you see, FTT went from, I should pull this up. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys because I don't know if you guys seen this or not. This is crazy to me. This is the current price, $2.55. Now I want you guys to see this chart. It was at $25. On the 7th, it was at 22. So from $22 to $2.60. This is the same thing as Terra Luna. It's the same thing. And what have we been telling you guys? There is a war, an all-out war on stable coins. FTT is FTX's stable coin. Is going to keep happening, right? FTX is going to go down. So now we had We had Terra Luna, we had Celsius, we just all of these companies you keep seeing crumble. And it's because people keep investing in. And when I say people, I mean a retail investor. It's us. We keep putting our money on these exchanges. We're trusting these guys because what they're offering just looks so sweet. 40% APY, 15% APY, the stake for 3 months, the stake for a whole year, you're able to get 7% here or 19% on this coin. So it looks so wonderful. You're thinking to yourself, okay, if I don't have a whole bunch of money, I can just buy whatever I can buy, put it on this platform, stake it, and I can trust these guys that I'll get my return in a year. But look at what just happened in the span of a week. This is 7 days. This chart is 7 days. One project. It went from $25 to $2 and some change. And then think about it. I don't know if you guys remember this, but these guys just got the arena. They just got the naming rights. All these Super Bowl commercials. Everything just looked so perfect for FTX. Right? It just looked great. Now look at where they're at right now. And it's all because of one person. The mismanagement of the money. He was behind this. There's nothing in my right mind that you could tell me that would tell me different. This guy is the CEO. He's the face. He's the guy. He's constantly interacting with the people. He's always talking about advancements with the company. So you don't know what's going on with your company? Impossible. These guys are behind it, man. This is what Steve calls bad actors. That's what these guys are. That's why we tell y'all, don't do it. Just, we vegans right now. Smooth vegans right now. And it's like, Kev, you spot on. Top 3 losers, BNB, FTT, and Sol. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want you guys to see this. So look at this. 57%, Solana down 38%, BNB down almost 20%. Look at the market. I can show you this every single time. You're going to get an occasional green in there somewhere, right? But look at all of these charts on the side. Everything is red. All of it. And it's because everything is still paired to Bitcoin. So anytime they manipulate the market and there's a huge crash, this is going to happen. Right? So now you guys can make you guys can make the sound decision and sound play, right? If you feel like, listen, you're advanced enough, if you can see what's going on, if you want to get out of a project, let's say, for example, let's say you guys were in Bitcoin, right? And you're holding a ton of Bitcoin and it's at this level and if something else happens, instantly as you start to see that downtrend, listen, I'm going to sell my Bitcoin for Tether, or I'm going to sell my Bitcoin for USDC, right? Because USDC, USDT, Tether, they're supposed to be stable coins. These are coins they're not going to move, right? They're not going to fluctuate. But I keep telling you guys, there's a war on stable coins. So no matter what, you're going to take a risk. This is up to you, but this is the risk that you must assume if this is the game you want to play, which is why we just keep it safe. If you minimize the risk and you just buy and hold, then that's it. Buy and hold. So at that point, your only strategy would be make a purchase when stuff goes on sale, which is right now. Buy whatever you invest in. Invest in whatever you believe in, and then just put it right on your cold storage wallet. Keep it there, hold it. Too easy. It's like, this is it. This is the best way to do this because the market is going to go up. It's going to come back down. We're going to go back green. It's not going to stay at this point, but we're going to have the Black Swan event. So a million things can happen between now and then. But I'm just telling you guys, from the grand scheme of things, something else is going to happen. What does this mean? Right? It's going to be another sale. If you have capital on hand, dollar cost average. Buy more. If you believe in a project, hold it. Boom. When it takes back off and the market's back green again, you're going to thank yourself. Now, listen, we're not telling you to go invest in nonsense, right? Boo-boo coin and just all of these, new coins that keep coming out, these crazy meme coins and things that just randomly appear. We're not telling you to invest in those. We don't mention those to you guys. And a lot of times when you guys bring them up, we shoot them down and we tell you why. right? So we're not telling you guys, we're not doing it to try to embarrass you guys. So I hope nobody feels like that. But we always shoot those projects down because by now, it doesn't matter who you are. We want you guys to be safe. We want you guys to make effective and smart investments when it comes to crypto, because this industry is going to continue to change and evolve. And some projects that might be around right now, they're not going to be around later. So everybody that's in the 1%, you guys are about to get some real smoke. Yeah, I know that. And we got y'all. So anybody else who's not in that 1% group and you want to get in, just send us a message, send me or Steve a direct message, and we'll send you the link and get you right. But I just wanted to show you guys this, man, because anytime there's something that goes on, there's any kind of catalyst, you're going to see big red days like this. And it's going to take a lot of capital to come back into the market. So even right now with the market cap, we're at 808. We're at 808, and we were just at $1 trillion. So that's kind of crazy to just see that. Let me look at this. Yeah, over the past week. Good height, almost at 1.1. Almost at 1.1 trillion, and here we are at 808 billion. 7 days. That's all it took. You know what I mean? One catalyst to cause a lot of this. It's wild, man. But a couple of these slides, these tabs, I'm going to kind of skip over because I just wanted to show you guys. I kind of paraphrased and kind of summarized some of this stuff. But here's the threads that I was talking about with CZ talking about FTX. Due to the recent valuation that came to light, we decided to liquidate any. So this kind of started it recently. This was when he came out and basically played chess with Sam Bankman and made him come out and say, hey, yes, this is true. We're in a hole. He basically just called out that Sam Bankman was behind FTT and FTX and Alameda, and he was using it as collateral. And once the cat was out the bag and people was able to visually see this and confirm this, it just caused a ton of disarray. So it's going to continue to happen. I think we're going to be down for the next couple of days. I'll probably give it to like the 11th or 12th. They'll do something, and then there's going to either be a big cash injection or a big player that comes in, or some kind of news that just drives the market up. I would probably give it to the 11th or 12th, and we should be back green again, unless something else happens. But I thought this was really dope. So CZ, he was being petty, right? But this is a good lesson, actually. He said, never use a token you created as collateral. And 2, don't borrow if you run a crypto business. Don't use capital efficiently. FTX, Sam Bankman, this is one of those the key phrases they kept saying. Yes, we are borrowing, but what we're doing is we're using debt and we're leveraging it, and we're doing this efficiently. He's being petty, basically letting everybody know, like, that's definitely not the move, and you see why. So FTX. So just to confirm, just so you guys can see what I was saying was official, it's $8 billion, and this is per Wall Street Journal. This came out today. There was an interview on Wall Street Journal. They haven't released the article yet. So people are just getting sound bites, and they're getting, messages from people who work for Wall Street Journal. They're releasing sound bites and tweets and things like that. So people are, retweeting it, spreading the word. But they're short 8 million. So they're seeking emergency funding, and I can't see nobody else coming in to swoop these guys up. The only person, and I just made a tweet, this was kind of funny. I was, taking a dig at the situation, because it's not funny, but again, I'm kind of desensitized to this. I'm prepared for this, and I know how to operate. I feel like the only person who truly has the money to buy FTX at this point would be Elon, right? Because he just raised his valuation with Twitter, and he just submitted documents today to get back to allowing Twitter to be a payment processor. And I was telling you guys about micropayments in the past. So when we're talking about micropayments is just basically another form of Web3. So anytime I put out a tweet or I put out a new video, we put out TikTok vids and it's all crypto related, or we might put out a reel on Instagram. With Twitter, you don't have that functionality, but you can post videos, right? And you can tweet. So if I put out great information, right? If I put out great information and somebody wants to send me a tip through crypto, you can do that. They had what was before was the XRP tip bot, and they had other ways where you can actually send each other small bits of Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency you wanted to utilize. You was able to send that, and they call it a micro payment, right? So you didn't even have to send a full XRP or a full Bitcoin or a full Ethereum. You can send fractions of a Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or whatever. And for whatever reason, they stopped doing that when the previous owners owned Twitter, right? Now that Elon is back, he's reinstating a lot of things. And this is the one thing. I don't rock with a lot of these guys' ideology, but I like where this is going, right? And it's a double-edged sword, because when you look at it with innovation, with growth, you definitely need to be able to incentivize the creators. These are the people that are using the platform that are keeping your platform alive, right? Without us, there wouldn't be a Twitter, there wouldn't be a Facebook, there wouldn't be an Instagram and all these social platforms. We are the people who literally we enrich these guys, right? And without us, it doesn't exist. But I say this to say, a lot of people are going to have different opinions about Elon, the person. I'm not addressing that. I'm only addressing the fact that since he took over, there's been certain advancements that people aren't aware of that I know are going to trickle down to the betterment of the space, right? I know they was all critiquing him about the $8 verification badges for people who have these right here, these little verification badges. The thing is, before, the people who were running Twitter before, they were selling this to anybody, right? And these guys were taking under the table cash outs, payouts, and they were giving people badges. So the money wasn't really trickling to the company, and they continuously did that. But what this does is it kind of sets a unrealistic expectation on the users, right? Now you feel like, listen, I gotta have a verified badge. I gotta be verified. When truth be told, everybody should be verified. When you're in crypto and you're using an exchange, what do you have to do? Verify yourself. You got a KYC, right? Everybody who's using Facebook, not Facebook, forgive me. Anybody who's using Coinbase, who's using KuCoin, all of these places, you had the KYC. You are verified. You know what I mean? So I get celebrities and things like that, but it's just like, yo, they were charging. I don't know if you guys noticed, but any content creators we might have on the call, these guys are charging 25 grand, 30 grand for one account to be verified. This is what the fee was. This is what the tab was. I know, I checked personally. I make music, so, you know what I mean? I just wanted to verify the page. So, I didn't have a whole bunch of fake pages up until recently when I was doing this crypto stuff. With the music, I would get one or two every now and then, but that's just probably just somebody playing. You know what I mean? Somebody just with too much time on their hands scamming. Now, you see in this world, everything is digital. Everything is Web3, right? So now that the user experience is now shifted to being online almost 24/7, people want verification badges. And if people are paying 25, 30 grand and that money's not going to where it should be, it's going to somebody's pocket under the table, come on, that's unrealistic. So I feel where Elon was going with that. I definitely do feel that. And I like the fact that he submitted documentation today for them to be a payment processor. So it makes me think about this, the relationship between Elon, PayPal, and then PayPal to crypto. So if you reinstate tip bots and you get accepted as a payment processor, just think about it. You could essentially buy certain things on Twitter the same way you can on Facebook or Instagram. You know, when you scroll, you might see an ad for something, and then now you're able to purchase directly on Twitter or directly on Instagram. You can buy things right away. So I'm for that. You know what I mean? Because if there's a product or something that I need to sell and I need to easily just will off a link, you should be able to, patronize my business, right? You should be able to support me and buy something instantaneously. I shouldn't have to send you to 5 different websites before you purchase something. So I'm all for that, especially in this new day and age, because everything is going to continuously be, everything is going to continuously be online. It's all Web3 now. So it's all about content creation and your data and what you're in control of. And, we need to monetize this and be incentivized. What else? So this just came out a couple hours ago. I don't know if I addressed this earlier, but FTX officially files for bankruptcy, and they're telling us, it's like, yo, in the fine print, there's nothing they could do for us. Same way with Coinbase, same way with all these other exchanges. It's always in a fine print. If your money is on these exchanges, you're not going to recoup anything. If you do, that's just, you may just be lucky. But I know from experience, being in this space for this long, anytime that there's a bankruptcy or anything like that, the only people covered are the institutional investors. That's the big wigs, Hoff Capital, the guys that are behind FTX right now, Hoff Capital, BlackRock, et cetera, et cetera. Those will be the guys who get kickbacks. Us, the retail investor, anybody who was staking, who had assets on there, just sitting on the exchange, it's a wrap. It's over for you. But that's why we say not your keys, not your cheese. So, I don't want to get too far into that. You guys already know the vibes when it comes to that. But it's just sad, man. And this is going to continuously happen. So that's why we try to be as transparent as possible, because you guys need to know what's going on with these guys. They're going to continuously do this. This cycle is going to continuously repeat until we get regulations. Once we get those regulations, it's going to be a different ball game. You know what I mean? The price fluctuations aren't going to be so vast. So it's still going to have some volatility, but it's not going to be crazy how it is now. Like, you might get a coin that comes out and out of nowhere, it might do, 3,000% in a day, just to pump and then come right back down. That's a pump and dump. That's a rug pull. You know what I mean? This is illegal. You know what I mean? This is what the SEC exists for. They're supposed to protect us, the retail investor, but they're not doing that. They're abusing their power. So now at this point, it's up to guys like me and Steve. And now this is everybody's job. Everybody here on this call, you guys have the power to enlighten somebody else. Listen, beware of this, right? Look out for this. It's all illegal. So now it's everybody's job to just each one teach one. So that's why we kind of drive these points home, and we want to make sure that you guys know it and you're aware of this stuff, because this is going to continuously happen. I hate to say it, you know what I mean? But if you're on the right side of things, I think it was Twitty. Twitty was like, yo, listen, I'm glad I'm on the right side of things. There's a lot of people who's hurting right now. And it's like, listen, with everything in me, I'm not a robot. You know what I mean? Like, I feel, I understand. And I know what it's like to lose everything that you put into this. A lot of people don't know that feeling, especially when you've invested tens of thousands into this market, and to see it disappear and vanish, you know what I mean? Or something that was out of your control. That's one of the most painful experiences I think I've ever had financially. It's nothing to go out and if you spend money on your own and you blow off some money, that's a different story. But to put in the work, to put in the time, to put in the effort, speaking to others, you know what I mean? And you're doing this for free. You're doing out of the kindness of your heart, because you see what's going on in the space. You know that this market is emerging and it's going to grow. So people who do the right thing, and you kind of put in that time and effort now and your money now, you don't look at it for tomorrow. You're going to be up 10,000. You look at it for the long-term investment. Hey, I'm doing this so that 5-10 years from now, I'm set. I'm financially straight. And then to have it ripped out from under you for no control of your own. It's like, we know that. We know how that feels. Me and Steve both. It hurts. And it's like, it's funny when we look at it, because we laugh. We both have conversations offline, and we just look at each other like, yo, bro, that shit hurt. Just be like, yo, it's all good. We're going to get that back in more. Because now we know the game. We see it. We see it for what it is. But just imagine people who just catch this news from time to time and they have no clue what's going on. they have no situational awareness, and they might see the article and blow past it, right? And not think about it, but still blindly invest in projects and leave their coins on these exchanges, right? You're setting yourself up for failure. So you're doing the right thing by investing, just not doing this correctly.
And God is going to honor you for your faithful service.
Let me mute. That's Ms. Barbara.
Till next time, I look forward to seeing you here in service this coming Sunday.
Amen.
Finishing up over there. All right.
Yeah, man. Nah, but it's cool, man. We appreciate Ms. Barbara, man, for joining us. She be, you know, she be getting that good word, and then she still come bust it up with us. So that's pretty cool. But listen, guys, I want y'all to understand. I didn't pull this up because I pulled these screenshots for Twitter. I should have been more prepared to have these links up for you guys. But I did some due diligence literally right before the call came on. And I was able to see some of the investors that had invested in FTX. Just so you guys understand, there's 48 investors, right? There was Hoff Capital, Coinbase, BlackRock, Blackstone, Paradigm, Multicoin, Sequoia Capital. Like, these are big wigs. And Sequoia invested $420 million. I think it was in round one. This was in 2021. And then you had Paradigm, Lightspeed, Insight, NEA, SoftBank. You had a couple people, and they all invested. This is back in January. This was their round two. They invested $400 million when it was at a $32 billion valuation. So it's like, yo, think about it. If these guys were investing this type of bread, they have to have some kind of security parameters involved where they're going to get some kind of get back. So when FTX files for bankruptcy and this is all said and done and they no longer exist, I mean, we don't know who anything can happen, right? Somebody can at the last minute could just come swoop in, and it could be somebody we just never expect, right? But think about this: Coinbase, FTX, Binance, these are the major exchanges, right? KuCoin, these are all the major big players, right? If this is happening to FTX, and Coinbase was just showing you guys repeatedly that their sales was down, the stock crashed, they were laying people off, it was just a lot of bad news that was going on, that their sales and the usage on the platform this year in comparison to last year, I mean, it's down 40, 50%. So just think about this. If FTX was showing you all of this, and FTX had it to where these guys were in a situation where they could show you guys, look, we have this much power and we're able to do so much, but this really happened, this crash, this bankruptcy whole situation, mismanagement of funds, what do you think is going to happen next with Coinbase? I hate to say it, but my spidey sense is tingling and I don't trust it. We've been stopped trusting Coinbase. I know Coinbase is one of those exchanges that people who's new into the space, they get on and that's where they put their bread and they just leave it. They leave their crypto on Coinbase. For the life of me, I can't understand it, but I get it. I was new too at some point. They leave their coins on there. So it just makes me think, if this can happen to FTX, who's next? Right? And don't think it's sweet with Binance. Binance had money laundering, fraud. It was a lot of accusations and things that's going on. And right now they're under scrutiny, legal scrutiny, right now. So while all this is going on and all the focus is on FTX, do not lose sight that these other exchanges could possibly be in the same exact boat. I want to show y'all something. Y'all remember this? He was the pawn. They was telling us this. This article came out on my birthday, June 28th. We made videos about this. This is not new. We've been pulled this up and showed this to y'all. This whole time, while he's putting out quotes, these buzzwords, and he's on the cover of magazines and all this, and they're putting this information out, everybody looked elsewhere the whole time. He's the culprit, and he's the big dog behind this. That's why I'm saying, y'all, you never understand how important this information is to kind of pay attention to until situations like this happen. When they happen, that's when you like, yo, whoa, this is nuts. Now I'm bugged out. Now I see what Champ's saying. Now I see what Steve's talking about. Like, that's the reason we keep doing that. We tell you about these things because when they happen, it's never jarring enough in real time. It's always in hindsight after something happens. Think about all the people who just lost all this money by using FTX. There's people who swear by it. The same way we always advocate for KuCoin because it's robust. It's got a ton of offerings, right? But think about this. Think about the other people who use FTX and their groups might have only told them about FTX, or they seen the FTX naming rights, right? And they're like, yo, listen, I want to be a part of this FTX, or they watch the Super Bowl sort of commercials. All of this marketing and advertising. Oh, my favorite NBA player. Oh, my favorite quarterback is an investor in this project. So of course I'm going to throw my little money over here. This is the mindset of people, but everybody is just lining up, trusting blindly. You're not paying attention to what's happening. These guys are fucking programming us and telling us what's happening before it happens, and people are in complete shock when it happens. I'm numb to this. We've seen it a million times over. And I'm telling y'all, listen, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm not going to continue to talk about this, but I want y'all to understand. They told us this in June, the end of June. This is June 28th. It is now November 9th. This crash happened over the last 2 days. This pissing match just occurred and it was brought to light. There's no way possible this guy lost 6 billion, 8 billion, and he's 8 billion in a hole that fast. That means this has been going on. He probably was in a hole when Forbes made this article. And this made everybody look to the left, and on the right side, they was doing the most, right? Telling you all these investors are coming in and they're investing in all kinds of stuff, telling you, you got 32% on this project, 19% if you stake this. All of this is going on, but where's your protection? That's why we say you are your bank, right? So with you being your own bank, you got to be your own security guard. That's it. You got to use the tools that we giving you, or you're going to be fucked off. And I hate to say it like that, but yo, this space is nasty work. Nasty work. Kev, you was spot on. It definitely was signs. And it's always like that. That's why I say hindsight is 20/20. Right? Sometimes I'm so engulfed in it and there's so much going on, right? There's new crypto news. There's new crypto projects. There's stuff that's going on right now that we haven't even addressed that's been going on in crypto. That I could keep you guys on here for probably another hour explaining more and more. But I say to myself, it's like, yo, listen, there are what you want to call it, the universe, God, but however you want to coin it, right? I always say nothing happens by coincidence. There is no such thing as coincidence. Everything is divine time. Anything that happens was supposed to happen, right? Now, how you react to it or how you put yourself in that position and how you rationalize it in reality, that's on you, right? But I do not believe in coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. When this article came out, I made a video on this. I knew something just didn't sit right because I'm looking at this kid and I'm like, yo, he made a ton of money. And I'm not being judgmental. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, yo, look. So this guy, for tax purposes, he sets up FTX and they're out of Nassau in the Bahamas, New Providence. So I'm like, okay, smart move. And I'm like, all right. So now Celsius Terra goes down. You know, he's involved, right? He's a part of that. He's investing. He's trying to buy out certain assets from people that's collapsing. Then Celsius drops, Terra Luna drops, all of these exchanges. It just happens simultaneously. And every single time he's there, he's putting in a bid. Somehow, some way, it's either him or Alameda. Every time. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yo, where's all of this money coming from? Right? And if he has all of this money, he could easily make plays that would literally affect the market. So if you've got all of these people staking and doing X, Y, and Z, it's only but so long until you have to show your hand. Now, not only did he personally have to file for bankruptcy, right? And he's severely in debt, over $650 million. Think about having a hole of $8 billion. Who's going to come bail you out at this point? Binance is in a hot seat. Coinbase is doing horrible. Stock down. Like, who has the money to come save these guys? And then you think about it. And I could be completely wrong. This is just feels like one of those crystal ball moments. I'm just thinking about it like, if everybody's in a hot seat, the market's down like this, we haven't even had the black swan or none of the other markets crashing yet. The dollar's dwindling. The value is consistently declining, right? All around the world, you got multiple nations joining BRICS, right? Circumventing the dollar, right? Devaluing the dollar. Who the fuck is coming to save who? And then it makes me think this. Is this money really real? Like really real? Because who's to say right now, they're coming out saying that he's $8 billion in the hole. Who's to say in the next week or so, right? Or the next 2 months, 3 months, right? You're gonna see Gary Gensler and the cronies, you're gonna see this lawsuit start to come out, and then you're gonna start to see the release of certain financial statements. You're gonna see how the money was mismanaged. Then you're gonna see even more scrutiny, and they're gonna comb through the financials with a fine-tooth comb. And you're gonna start to see shit like 20 billion, 15 billion is the actual number. And then you think, yo, if you mismanage this much money, where is the money, period, in crypto? Where is it? Because we just went from a trillion market cap, 1.1, to we at 808 right now. Where's the money? It's like, yo, is this shit fake? And we holding on to these projects like I'm bugging. I'm like really, really bugging. I'm like, I literally look at this. This shit is wild, man. And I'm like, yo, when Kev, you couldn't have been spot on, bro. You could not have been more spot on. It definitely was signs. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, if you in this game, and you know you here to play, you just gotta watch out for these guys, man. These guys is wicked. And I don't want none of y'all to be victims. I know what it feels like to lose it. I know what it feels like to win it. I do. You know what I mean? I could go to my cold storage right now and you know what I mean? You could see multiple figures on there and you're just like, yo, I did pretty good for myself. But then when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's like, yo, I fucked up. I lost a lot of money in here. Steve just lost, he took the last L. You know what I mean? And I kept telling him, I said, yo, bro, look, Ethereum ain't it. And he was big on Ethereum, but Steve had a different vantage because he was looking at it from an institutional standpoint. He did right. He was following the money, right? I was doing the same thing. It just hit me earlier. And I said, yo, I'm out. I'm not fucking with Ethereum. I see what these guys is doing. It's wicked. And then everybody who is in the 1%, you know what I mean? You got the story. Now you see why I'm the way I am, why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. It's like, yo, you have to dot connect this. You have to kind of comb through everything meticulously. You have to become a brainiac. And it's almost like consuming. It's almost like being immersed in this state of mind and having to always be on defense while you try to do the right thing. It's rough. Because if we was wicked, we'd be in a game just like them. It'd be nothing to be a billionaire, multi-billionaires. With our smarts, and then think about it. all the people in this group, if we just did group economics right now, everybody in here that's on this course, 21 people on this call, including myself. So if everybody in here was just like, yo, listen, let's put 10,000 into this. You know what I mean? Let's put 100,000 into this. You see how big the price swings could be in different projects? We could take micro cap projects, small cap projects, dump a ton of bread into it, you know, a couple 100,000. Boom. Before you know it, you're seeing 50%, 40%, 60% gains. And everybody who's holding a coin, everybody's up. But as long as we get out first, we dumping on everybody else. Because everybody else who's seeing this green candle, they chasing it. They like, oh, this joint going up. It's probably going to go up some more. Let me now invest. Let me buy some. And as you come in to buy in, we dumping on you. But that's the same thing that's going to happen with XRP. That's why we tell you it's just a waiting game at this point. It's a patience game. You know what I mean? Like, I had to tell you, like, yo, y'all had to, like, you have to take a deep breath with this shit. You have to take a step back. And you just have to assess everything that's going on in the space. Because if you don't and you're locked into one thing happening, it's going to defeat you. And you're going to be distracted to the point where you miss everything else going on outside of it. Because just one thing, this one issue with this FTX caused all this uncertainty. But then think about it. Justice Department just seized 3.36 billion Bitcoin from Silk Road. This happened 10 years ago. If you ain't know that, you know what I mean? You wouldn't have no clue of what was happening. So you're just like, damn, why the market so red like this? Damn, just people that scared of FTX. But think about it. That's one of the largest exchanges, period, for crypto. That's it. It's one of the biggest exchanges. They marketed this to you and gave you all green things and said, look, this is the way to go. And you follow the yellow brick road. You know what I mean? You was looking at the rainbows and the sparkles and the little, you know what I mean? All that shit made you go towards it because that's how they fed it to you. The whole time you see this right here, crypto exchanges already secretly insolvent. Shit crazy, man. Shit is wild, man. So that's why I tell you guys, look, I'm about to get up out of here. You know what I mean? But I just want you guys to understand this. The key takeaway is don't trust these guys. Move as if you do not trust these guys. Be strategic with what you're doing, especially when it comes to investing your money. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, right? And you never, ever, ever are in the red if the market is red and you're just holding. You only lose when you sell in the red. You only lose then. That's my key takeaways. So I want y'all to keep buying, keep investing in whatever projects that you're going to invest in, that you guys believe in. We've given you guys incredible projects. We gave y'all projects that we know for sure is going to make you guys millionaires, for sure. Now, how patient you are, how steady your hands is, you know what I mean? If you got diamond hands, you're going to be greatly rewarded. You know what I mean? Still be smart, come up with strategies that help you guys kind of understand when to make your exits, right? Because you don't have to sell everything. You just sell some to recoup your initial investment. Once you put that money back, you know what I mean? Let the rest rock out. Now you're playing with house money. And that's how you start to see these guys. You see these guys with 100 million, you know what I mean? A billionaire. They was able to make this money off crypto because they was patient. They invested in projects they believe in. They seen where it was going. They bought in when it was low. They held. So while everybody was caught up in a whole bunch of, oh, this is happening. Oh, I can't believe the market's down. Oh, I'm red again. And then you get frustrated and sell. Now you've lost. You out the race. And the person over here that's patient. That's the person that's going to eat the most. Because it's on their cold storage wallet. They chilling. They out, you know, generating other means of income. You know what I mean? Whether they just working, they got other businesses, whatever. And they just repeating the process. Anytime it's on sale, buy more, hold it. So you plussing up your volume. And when it's go time, you're going to look at your accounts and you're going to thank yourself. But I'm telling y'all now, like, do not close your eyes to what's going on in this space because it's going, I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. This is nothing. Just to see Bitcoin go from 21 to 50, this is nothing. I was seeing Bitcoin doing $2,000 to $3,000 dollars in price swings, like going down and going back up same day. You know, you might drop 3,000-4,000 and go up 7,000. Like I'm seeing this in real life for years. So this is nothing. But I'm telling you guys, do not get comfortable. Do not get relaxed. Keep your foot on the gas and keep paying attention to what's going on, guys. Because I'm telling you, all the meme coins and all that, shit is bullshit. But they still gonna manipulate it. I'm not telling you you're not gonna make no money off of it, right? But I'm telling you it's BS. It doesn't solve anything. But then think about it. You got guys like Elon who you know, he just bought Twitter. So now that he bought Twitter, think about it. He was manipulating Doge. He just offloaded Bitcoin again. He just did it again. So it's like his wealth is coming from crypto, not Tesla. So somebody could easily dump on people like that and just think about it. Every day you're consistently, people are buying and selling. That's trading, right? And what he's doing, he's taking out short positions and long positions, like offloading, dumping, you know, excess crypto that he got. He's dumping that Bitcoin on the rest of us. And it's not just him. This is people that's been here for years, people that was buying thousands and thousands of Bitcoin. So these guys are billionaires. So whenever they need a quick 200 million or 100 million or whatever, 50 million, they just go right to the exchange. You see the whale alert. Oh, this whale just moved, you know, 20,000 Bitcoin from this wallet to this wallet. And you can see it right there on the chain. And then before you know it, you're looking at the market and he done dumped it. Whoever that person is, they done dumped it and offloaded it. Now the market's red. It's a never-ending cycle. But that's what we tell y'all. You have to know what you're investing in and just be patient. Can't worry about the small time frames because it looks nasty. But when you broaden that range out and you look at it and you're like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Over the past 2 years, this joint is still up, you know, 80%, 200%. So you still in the green. But if you focusing on a day-to-day, every single day, that ain't gonna cut it for you unless you just trading, unless you like a Kev or you know, a Kiera or Wolf or somebody like that. Like it's people who play like that and they have a reason for it. They're looking at the charts, they're doing technical analysis, right? They're using the tools that they have to maximize their earning potential. That's the smart way to do it. But if you're just a person who you're not in futures, you're not doing all that trading, you just want to buy crypto and hold it, and that's that. That's easy work. Buy and hold it. Just keep your shit off the exchanges. But anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions, comments? I want to say something. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah. I got quite a big chance. You making a very interesting point, man. When you say like, this is all fake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you just elaborate on that? Because all that is just totally inflated, right? You can't tell me a market cap was on $1 trillion, right? Within less than a year.
7 days.
And all that thing's gone. One person is just manipulating this whole thing and just like totally cause a disruption. I mean, I don't get this.
So, Christine, I'm gonna get to you. I just saw your message pop up. I'm gonna address that on the call so everybody can kind of hear that because that's a good question. Look, just look at this. This is the total market cap in crypto, right? Year to date, we were at 2.2, right? January 1st, we was at 2.2. So today, we're at 808 billion. So we're still down, and we was at, I think, all-time high. I think we reached 3.1, I think it was. Sometimes this coin market cap be off a little bit, but we were at 3 trillion. I know for sure we hit 3. So just look at it like that. We were at 3 trillion. This was November 13th, right? So We were at 3 trillion. We're back under 1 trillion. So we've lost so much money that came out of this space. But just think about it. Think about how much the space has grown and matured and how many advancements and how many things have gone on in that time frame. Right? It's wild when you think about it, but it's like, yo, where did the money go? So when I say it's fake, I'm looking at it like, yo, I've heard, so David Schwartz is brilliant mind. Anybody who knows anything about Ripple, you know who Brad Garlinghouse is, and you know who David Schwartz is, right? David Schwartz is the CTO. He's the brains behind it. He's one of the architects of the ledger, right? So him, Chris Larson, and a couple other guys, like these guys are just fucking brilliant minds, right? There was a Twitter conversation and somebody asked a question. Somebody said, what happens when, forgive me if I don't state this correctly. I think he said, what happens when people find out none of this was real or something like that? It was in reference to Terra Luna and Celsius, right? They were talking about how it would say, all right, these guys lost, 50 billion or 100 billion, right? And then when you're looking at it, you're seeing all these losses consistently back to back, right? And in the cryptocurrency market said we were at 3 trillion for all-time high. And then now you're looking at it and we're at 808 billion, right? Where did the money go, right? David Schwartz's response was, we find out that the money wasn't real. That was his response. Now, I don't know if he was saying it to be funny. I don't know if he was saying it to be like, to be insightful, to let us know like, yo, I know this shit ain't real, but I can't tell you it's not real. You just don't know where that came from, but you don't know what vantage point he's kind of shooting at from, but it's insightful nonetheless, because it should make you think, where the fuck did the money go? Think about everything that's been happening, right? all these people been investing. All these people been putting so much bread in here. We talking about businesses. We're talking about enterprises, governments, all of this, right? Everybody is dumping money into cryptocurrency. Everything is about blockchain. At one point, everything was NFTs, right? Then it was metaverse, right? It was so much stuff that was going on in this space at one time. Where did the bread go? And it's like, yeah, we know the retail, we kept getting wiped out.
That's what I'm saying, though, Big Champ. Sorry to cut you off. NFTs, like the market was inflated, no more, right? You got Dogecoin create like, coming with a freaking an apocalypse on people. Not this guy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think you're absolutely correct, dude. Like, okay, mathematically speaking, okay, from 3 trillion to have we have right now, dude. I mean, it's just like, it's the way you're looking at the numbers. I'm like, okay, there's no freaking way. Like, retail investors take that money from where? Going where?
Yo, that's what I mean, and that's why I said it's like, if you look at this realistically, it's almost like they just been playing with the numbers regardless. Now we know the powers that be, these guys are swinging this pendulum, right? We got hedge funds, we got governments, we got you got secret investors, you got private bankers. These guys can't legally be in here, right? Because they run banks, they run institutions. But who's to say they're not using their capital? They might give it to somebody else and say, listen, you have the reins to be able to do this. You make this trade. I want you to crash the market. This is going to liquidate a bunch of people. If I own a company that's attached to somebody who has a short open, right? I'm going to benefit from this. Essentially, I'm going to get my kickback, basically enriching the rich. The people who are negatively affected are us, the retail investors, the people who are investing their money, and we're blindly thinking, okay, Bitcoin is going to $1 million because you got people like Michael Saylor telling you, yo, take out another mortgage on your house for Bitcoin.
That's insane, bro. And the dude got fired.
This is real. You know what I mean? So we printed more money in what amount of time? So we did in the last in 1 month, we printed more money than they printed in the last 100 years.
About
So
3 trillion.
yeah, it was one. Yeah. So this was the money that Rosie Rios was a part of. She was a part of the administration where her name was on the bottom of the bills. So that's, I mean, Kev just brought up that point. It's like, yo, when you think about it, we only create money out of debt. Anytime you sign your name on something and open up a line of credit, you have more debt. Anytime you buy a car, a home, and you have any kind of debt, a new credit card, once your wet signature hits that paper, they're allowed to print a certain amount of money based on what your debt is, right? For every dollar of debt, they're able to print fiat. I forgot what the correlation was. I think it's like $5 or $4 or whatever. So automatically, we're able to print more fiat than we are having debt. So think about it. You buying a house, average crib might be 300, 400,000. You know what I mean? Nowadays, especially here, I'm in Georgia, you know what I mean? But I'm seeing them 300, 500, some of them a million. It's just like, yo, and this is just in this area right here where I'm at. So I know there's other houses in Atlanta that's 1.7, 5 million. There's many mansions around here all over the place. Think about that. These people who aren't paying cash, they're taking a line of credit out. They're getting approved for this, right? But I don't care about the number. I'm just trying to get you guys to see this. Anytime somebody buys a house, buys jewelry, you use your credit card, you get a new credit card, whatever, any kind of debt, they're instantly printing 5 times that. That money is going in circulation. So we already killing our own money. But then you got countries that's moving away from the dollars, the global reserve currency. They're not using it. You know what I mean? Petrodollar smoked. Saudi Arabia just is joining BRICS. It's a dub. So it's like, yo, think about it. These guys is moving away from it. So now what's going to happen? They have to get off this debt-based system because we owe so much. The U.S. debt clock, we owe so much damn money. Look at this shit.
Do you think that they took the money from crypto and then put it, into the stock market or some sort of like a
of course. Of course. I mean, because they've done that with any other market. Crypto is no different. It's just emerging. It's the rules and regulations aren't here like they are in other markets. So of course, whenever crypto is green, you start to see so much money come into it. The reason being is because people start removing their money from tech stocks and all these other stocks, real estate stocks and all that. And they move from that market, they move it into crypto.
And let me throw something out there real quick, champ. A lot of this tech stock money and the crypto money now, it's starting to go into the energy sector.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in it for the last about month and a half. A lot of that money is moving over and it's just going to rotate. Once all of this come out and the information starts to change, it's going to rotate back into the tech stocks because the prices that I'm seeing even in that market, come on, you got Amazon, you got Google, all under $90 a stock per share. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And we all know those companies are very innovative, are very strong. Some of those are like your top 3 companies that was trillion-dollar companies for a long time, and they're not going anywhere. Everybody got an Apple iPhone or watch. Those companies are losing right now, but they're not going anywhere. So once this thing starts to go back in energy, they're going to transfer and move their money back into different stocks. And just like crypto, it'll be back. It's going to come back. It might be less project. Well, of course, it's going to be less projects. But like I dropped in Discord, it's going to be about innovation. You guys have talked about it, champ. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be case use. That's going to be the word. The word is case use.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be worth something. That's what people are starting to realize.
Yep. Spot on. 1000%. But you know what? What's so crazy is I want y'all to understand this too, because this is super plausible. I can't tell you exactly what the black swan is. You just know that it's going to be a cataclysmic, just reckoning that kind of goes through all financial markets. Think about where we at right now, right? Understand that we're crypto focused, right? This is crypto university, right? But understand, we teach y'all real estate, we teach y'all about macro and micro, things that's going on across the globe, right? It's all things money, right? When you're looking at this from a broad spectrum and you take that step back, it's like, all right, crypto is fucked up right now. You know, we in the red. Go look at what's happening on the stock side. It's red. Real estate, red. Now, at no point am I telling you, you cannot go in here and make money off any of these sectors. Everybody here can go into each one of these sectors and become a multimillionaire instantaneously. It just takes time and effort, consistency, rinse and repeating every single time. You see a new property, you buy the property, you know what I mean? You flip the property, sell it for more, you know, you might offload it, go buy 2 more, and you just repeating the cycle. Now you're buying these at larger volumes and you're making exponential profits. It's the same thing in crypto, right? It's the same thing in stocks. You're playing this game nonstop, but this is what I want you guys to understand. With the black swan, everything goes. And I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm just making sure you guys are really paying attention and feeling where I'm coming from. Everything goes. The stock market collapses. It's a big ass bubble on that. It collapses. What happens to the money that's over there? People are gonna lose it all. I hate to say it, but this happened before, right? You remember the stock market crash we had before? People got wrecked. I remember my college professor, he was telling me, came into class one day, he was just like, yo, listen, he's telling us a story about how he owned like some of the suites that was going to, I think Adobe or something like that. It was Adobe and Microsoft. It was something he had created. And something happened and just the stock market crashed. And when it crashed, he lost everything because he had his whole entire life savings in this, right? Fully invested. So he lost everything. Now multiply that by all the people who was in this space, right? Just in stocks, wiped out. People liquidated. Where's the money go? It's gone. You literally have to start from scratch and rebuild. But that's gone. Real estate, but what if the real estate market collapse, right? You see this big ass debt we holding right here? And this is just the US debt. This is just the US national debt. So you see this, right? Now think about the debt around the world. All these countries don't have enough gold to back the amount of debt that they're in. So essentially, there's no real money, and there's no true money, there's no lawful money except for gold and silver, right? Fiat is a promise to pay. It's a promissory note. And I dropped the books for y'all, so y'all definitely can read up on that. Y'all already know what time it is. But I want y'all to like really start to piece this puzzle together. So those of you who do, and you understand money, you understand how this works, you understand that there's already no real money that's here, right? It's only legal tender is gold and silver. That's it. How many people walk around with gold and silver? We all walk around with fiat and debit cards. Then think about what they're doing to your money. Your money is in the bank, right? And when it's in the bank, because you walk around with your debit card, you're not keeping all the bread that you get. You're not keeping it in your house nowhere. It's in your bank account. You know what I mean? For the most of us, you take your money into the bank, or it gets direct deposited. What they do, take your bread, offer your bread to somebody else. They're extending credit to other people, right? And they're loaning your money out to other people, which is why if you ever went into the bank and you needed to withdraw money, sometimes they'll tell you, we don't have it. We have to order it. And they give you a day and time until you come back. So now you got to wait for your money. That's why this happens. You know what I mean? Now think about this. As it keeps steamrolling, this shit is getting larger and larger. You just had crypto crash. You have real estate crash. You have fucking stock market crash. Like, what else is next? Bonds, repo market, all of that. We got crazy national debt. Man, come on.
That's what I'm saying.
This shit is nasty work.
Money everywhere, bro.
Yeah, this is nasty work. This is why we
That's some crazy stuff, man.
Look, if there's anything that I could ever tell y'all right now, this right here, this is and I'll explain some days I'll explain what the black swan is in a second, but I want you to understand this. Like, when we talk about like getting into this space and then being able to learn it enough to where we can build something in this ecosystem, it's imperative. Like, we're not trying to scare nobody. We're not trying to like put anybody in stressful situations, but I need y'all to understand, like, yo, this is by design. They have to crash the old system for the new system to emerge, right? It has to happen. This has been pre-planned for years and years and years. They knew this was coming. I want you to look at the night. No, I'm not even going to do it. I want you to, this is for y'all to do. I want you to pull up the 1988 Economist cover. 1988. There's a phoenix on the cover. The phoenix is standing on top of cash, fiat, coins. It's on fire. The correlation is death to the money, to the fiat. On the phoenix's chest, there's a coin. The coin is the currency. What do birds do? They soar, they fly. Come on, man. Listen, man. I'm about to go crazy and I'm about to tell you.
Yo, breaks.
Listen, I'm about to tell you some wild shit that I'm just telling myself I can't go there. But I just want y'all to understand, like, this is by design. All the 1%ers, you really about to get the smoke because y'all gonna see it. Day two is like this when it really get nasty. So it's like you're gonna learn a whole lot of, the intricacies, and then it starts to reveal itself even more. And then you pair that with everything else after that. So I'm really hitting the brakes right now. I'm really like mashing on the gas right now. I'm on the brakes right now. But Sandeja, just to answer your question, the black swan, just look at it as like it's going to be like a reckoning around the world of all financial markets. It's going to be an event that's classified as something that's so impactful that is going to affect everybody and everything, all markets, financial. So that's what a black swan event is. So a black swan event could be a multitude of things. It could be the stock market crashing, crypto crashing. It could be real estate crashing. It could be the repo market crashing, the bond markets, all of that. Like, this is all part of the black swan, right? There's multiple pieces to this. So as these things are happening, you can't look at them like just an individual event. Respect it for what it is, but you have to take a step back so you can kind of see it for what it is. It's like certain things are happening back to back in a streamlined process, and it's causing all of these markets to dwindle slowly but surely. And we've been here long enough to see it. And some of you now, you've been investing in crypto long enough, especially the ones who've been with us. You guys have been here long enough to see it for yourselves. You see it crashing. You see certain things in a red, and they've been here for the longest. They may go up, something will happen just out of nowhere. You'll get an injection of cash, and it'll go up a couple thousand, and then now it just holds this place for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, right? And then out of nowhere, you see this crazy event, a FTX, a Celsius, a Terra Luna. All of these situations keep happening. So this is all in crypto. Then when you look at it on the stock side, you were seeing real estate, Evergrande. Evergrande was paired with Tether. Evergrande is linked to China, right? With the fake plastered cities, right? So they were using their stocks and their real estate, quote unquote real estate, to back their GDP, to say basically we're worth more than what we are, right? They had stocks to back them up. So this is a way that they were being able to trade with other economies and other markets. Come to find out, they had fake cities. With those fake cities, the stock that was paired with it, it crashed. Now it didn't even crash the whole market yet. They just filed for bankruptcy. And then now there's more details that's coming out slowly but surely. So slowly but surely, you're going to see something happen on the stock side, stock market crash. Then something else is going to happen. Now you're seeing bricks, everybody moving away from the dollar. There's a multitude of things that's happening. And basically, it's all going to lead to one end result. The dollar is going to be trash, right? Financial markets are all going to crash. People are going to be fucked off. From that point on, there's going to be a new currency and a new way of life financially that's going to emerge. And I have to stop there. I can't go no further than that. But that's in a gist, that's Black Swan event. And I want you to do your research on this as well, right? Just to corroborate what I'm saying. But, just to edify yourself and plus up your smarts on this situation, because everybody should be aware of this. Just look up Black Swan event. It's a saying. It's not a technical term. You're not going to see this in like Webster's dictionary or nothing like that, but it'll pop up. And then you just got to go down that rabbit hole and start researching and join the 1% so you can get the rest of that work. But yeah, man, we could go on for days, man. I don't want to keep y'all. I actually went longer than I thought. But listen, I definitely appreciate y'all being here on a Wednesday night. Y'all definitely don't have to do this. But we love seeing y'all, man. We love doing this for y'all. So right now we just been kind of intermittent with the days. We got some big things me and Steve are working on. And we putting together yesterday, he told the people that was in a real estate group. So I'll kind of leave it there. But we're working on something that's major. And it's just taking our time. And then we still have the 1%. We're doing our trilogy talks, prepping that stuff for you guys to bring that movie to life, tell it the way we need to. So, we just appreciate y'all being here and investing that time. So sorry if I'm screaming at you, when it comes to leaving your coins on the exchanges. But, we just want to make sure that y'all hearing us. Like, we got to drive this point home because think about the people that's not in this group. They're being affected daily. Every time there's something that happens and they're losing everything. It's like people commit suicide from this. They take their lives, they lose everything, life savings. Coinbase, Steve just posted something, I believe it was today or yesterday. Some guy lost his life savings. It was 1.2 million or something like that. So it's like, yo, I need y'all to understand this is real and this is impactful, right? And we don't want nobody here being slaughtered, right? We don't want that to be y'all because we know how it feels firsthand. We was here when there was nobody else to protect us. We just had to kind of live and learn. You know what I mean? Whatever happened, happened. And that was how you learned it. So, you know what I mean? Without further ado, it kind of is what it is. But y'all get the point now. And if you need help, you got to stay in the Discord. So Steve has something for you guys. He was going to shoot a video for you, but he had other engagements he had to take care of. So he didn't do that. What he's going to do is he's going to give you guys some info and he's going to drop a link in a meeting for it. And he'll just talk to y'all personally. So that's going to be coming up soon. So just keep your eyes out for that. Kev, that's concerning futures trading. So he's got an ill method he's going to release to y'all. Is super dope, but that's his wheelhouse. So he got the hat on that. He gonna take care of y'all for that. And then Kev, good luck. Inflation data comes out tomorrow morning. So of course, Kev gonna bless y'all. He gonna bless y'all with the gems, and we gonna we'll have a nice convo in there in the morning because it's gonna affect so much. So as always, just keep your eyes wide, man. And we'll keep you guys updated as more things kind of unravel in this space, and new projects. There's something that's coming out in a couple of days, but I want to research it for another day or two. In the next 12 days, it comes to market, right? And I want to do my due diligence first before I present it to anybody. So I'll do that. So you guys look out for that. Because I'm going to actually give y'all that. So whether it be on another call or I just drop it in the beginner's chat, I just tell y'all this is the play, this is what it is, look into it. I'm not going to tell you to invest in it or nothing. I'm just going to tell you what it is. and then y'all can, do as you wish. All right. So anybody got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, I just appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything, man.
Word, no doubt. Who that? There's a song?
Yep, this time.
Ah, my God, man. Appreciate you.
No problem, no problem.
Word. Yo, super sharp on that play. Great homework. I meant to tell you that too. You killed that. That was probably one of the best ones I saw too.
Appreciate it. I got more to come. I just been up on the road doing a lot of drive. So
Yeah.
I'm on top of it.
Word. Stay dangerous on that road too.
I got you.
All right. Anybody else? Somebody had a question too. I did need to address. It's about ledgers. My bad, y'all. I think it was Christine. Is there an updated new recommendation on the quality storage wallet that was suggested in the previous discussions? Curious, since Black Friday is coming up, we should look into other codes. So listen, so this was in the chat at 8:33. Christine, great question. Appreciate that. She basically asks, is there any updated or new recommendations we got for cold storage wallets, right? Black Friday's coming up. So she just wanted to know, should we look into other cold storage wallets? I'm always going to tell you guys, yes, always look for new wallets, right? I'm not telling you to buy them, though. This is what you need to understand. When it comes to a cold storage wallet, there's some that's trusted, that have direct links and direct partnerships with these crypto projects. So they're able to directly store that project directly onto the device, right? This is why we always go to Ledger, because Ledger is, when it came out, it started working directly with individual blockchains. This is why you're able to store so many projects onto the cold storage wallet, and they continue to partner and innovate, right? The only downfall to that is when you're using Ledger Live, which is the mobile or desktop application that pairs with the cold storage wallet, you have to be careful not to partake in all of its offerings, right? We've been in a space when all you would do is buy and hold. So you buy crypto on an exchange and you send it directly to your cold storage. That was it. Now, when you log on a Ledger Live, you see swap. That wasn't there before. You see an actual marketplace on there where you can actually you can transfer coins, you can swap coins into others, you can buy crypto. It's doing too much. It's almost becoming its own exchange, right? And the problem with that is we don't know who this third party is and what they're going to do with your information and data while you're utilizing it, right? So you having to go through MoonPay to buy crypto on your Ledger Live. Why would you do that when you already KYC'd for a cryptocurrency exchange, right? Why do that? And then you're opening the door to Pandora's box. It could possibly be a loophole that somebody can infiltrate and hack your cold storage, which is what we don't want. This is why we tell y'all stay away from these web browsers, these mobile wallets, these extensions, these Google Chrome extensions, and just random downloading stuff on your computer when you're dealing with crypto. It's just like, yo, guys, it's cyber warfare going on, and we're not out of it. This is still going on. So I don't want anybody here to become a victim, because I'm guilty of it myself. I was using MetaMask before, right, for nodes and just previously. I've had it for years, but I know not to keep anything on it. Anything that I previously had was removed from it and put on my cold storage wallet. So to cut and dry answer your question, yes, you need to be looking for other wallets, cold storage wallets, because there's new wallets that emerge daily, but you need to look at the pros and cons of it. You need to do your due diligence and bring that information back to the group, because something that might be helpful to you could be helpful to anybody else who reads it, right? So as a family, that's our job, find new information and bring it back to the group. So incredible question. I still would recommend just the normal Ledger, right? I would get a Ledger Nano X because it has the most space on it. So that's the one. Decent wallet is a great wallet. It holds a couple coins that the Ledger doesn't. So I would recommend that as well. I got Steve another wallet, but I know the Arculus that's a good product, but the only thing is the offering isn't robust. There's not a lot of coins on there because they're new and they don't have the partnerships that Ledger has. So my top two is in this order: Ledger and then Decent, and I'll leave it at that. Can XRP be transferred from Coinbase to a cold store? Yes, absolutely. Elazar, yes, sir. You should have been moved that off. So what they did was they disabled all activity and all transactions for XRP on that platform. So on Coinbase, the only thing you can do is withdraw. So get your address from your ledger for XRP and go to Coinbase and then withdraw it to that address. And I would make that happen yesterday. I've been trying it and it won't be. So just send me a message. Send me a message on the back end, like a direct message on Discord or something like that, and send me a screenshot of what it's telling you, because it's probably just not to be funny, but it's probably just an operator error. It's telling you a prompt, or it's probably telling you something, and it's something you need to do to enable them to allow you to move it off. Because if you still have XRP there, it's your XRP and you need to be able to move it. But send me like a screenshot and a message, and I'll help you out. Andy, yes, KuCoin is still safe to buy coins and pull it off. The only issue is, I don't know if you was on the call since the beginning, but I've been having, for the past 2 days, I've been having an issue with KuCoin. I've been trying to use FastPay to buy directly on KuCoin, using the same debit card that I've been had on there, and it's giving me an error message, basically telling me that for my safety, my transaction has been declined. And when I called the bank isn't even seeing the transaction. And they're like, yo, listen, we don't have a block. There's nothing going on with us. This is a merchant issue. So I've been in contact, going back and forth with KuCoin for the last 2 days. So I seen a couple people in the chat earlier talking about it, and I was going to bring it to you, but I just wanted to kind of do my due diligence before I said anything. I should have just asked earlier, so that's my bad. I appreciate y'all for chiming in now and telling me. So Daniel and Brad, I see y'all. And I'll let them know exactly. I'll just say, hey, listen, this is not just a me thing. This is multiple users. So I don't know if it's just because they know people are catching those swing trades in futures, but that's probably what it is. They probably heard about Skype and how we was busting their ass. So, they probably just trying to shut us out. You know what I mean?
Exactly what it was.
I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Just to be hot, just to keep it hot. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it was. Yep.
They heard we was catching wreck over there. You know what I mean? So they under pressure right now. But yeah, I'll definitely keep y'all informed of what's happening with that situation. And then if anybody else, if y'all get any other updates and y'all find out what's going on with that, just chime in, hit the group chat and let everybody know, because some people not even having issues. Some people might not even be having any problems at all. Kiera,
I'm here.
you having any issues with KuCoin?
Sometimes the transaction won't go through, but I'll try it a couple of times. I'll come back to it in a few hours and then it'll magically just work.
Okay. All right. So it's kind of weird, man, but I'm gonna see what's going on, because I mean, normally when these exchanges don't have liquidity, I mean, you'll know about it before things like this stop. You know what I mean? There's some kind of announcement. Somebody will come out and say, listen, they've halted withdrawals, or there's no liquidity over there, beware, whatever. But with everything going on, I would just make sure you do your due diligence first. Before you go directly to Coinbase, FTX, Binance, any of these exchanges, go to CoinMarketCap. We showed you guys this. Anybody who took the who took the boot camp, I want you to go here. Go to whatever coin you're trying to buy. Let's just say it's XRP, right? You go to markets. Markets tell you this is the source. This is where you could buy each one of the cryptocurrencies from, right? And then these are the trading pairs that you use. Whenever you look here, I want you guys to look at the confidence and then look at the liquidity score. If the liquidity score is high, I mean, if it's a higher number and this confidence says high, you're good to use it. Let me see if there's anything else. So you see these that say moderate and this liquidity score is low, This is fairly low right here. So you would have to be cautious because what will happen is one, either the transaction won't fulfill your order because there's no liquidity over there, or it'll take forever for the transaction to go through because there's no liquidity over there. So I would just tell you for right now, just stick to the majors. You know what I mean? Stick to the big, you know what I mean? Stick to the big projects, the big coins right now, that have a lot of liquidity, the exchanges that are reputable. You know what I mean? And just kind of just be cautious right now. Operate with caution, especially with this FTX situation, because we don't know if Binance is going to be in the hot seat or if they are right now. And Coinbase could definitely be next up. Like we just don't know who the Grim Reaper coming to visit. So, you know, just understand that. I've still been using KuCoin. How I got around the situation of not being able to buy is it just prolonged the process. I went to Coinbase, bought a stable coin on Coinbase, sent that stable coin to KuCoin, received it, converted it into the coin I wanted to buy, and then I withdrew it to my ledger. It's multiple steps. It seems way more complicated than, you know, it needs to be. But I mean, that's just a workaround. You know what I mean? And that's something I did. But I'm not encouraging anybody who's not well versed in the space to do that, because it's higher trading fees. I mean, higher withdrawal fees, because you have to pay a fee every exchange that you have to send it to. And then two, one error, you're gonna lose your coins. So if you don't know how to do this, just be on ice for right now and just hit everybody up. You know what I mean? Because it's easier to do that for me. But if you're not well versed, you know what I mean? Not saying that we won't help you or somebody in the group won't help you. I'm just telling you guys to be careful. That's it. That's the biggest takeaway from this. Just be cautious right now, especially in these times. Anytime that there's like a big event that happens in crypto, you know, there's always a downturn. There's always it's just shaky. You know what I mean? The exchange could shut down. Even if you're in the midst of a transaction and they halt withdrawals or they halt trading, you know what I mean? Your coins will get stuck on that platform. So even if you're trying to make a quick transaction, do a test. You know what I mean? Even if it might take you an extra 5 minutes, but do a test. Like if you are allowed to buy something on KuCoin, buy it with, $20. Do it, go through the process, purchase what you need to purchase, and send it to your exchange. To your cold storage wallet. Once that's done and you know it's been completed, you're successful, do it again with the amount that you want to do. Just things like that. Just be cautious, guys, and tiptoe, especially right now. Just give it a couple of days if you're not pressed. But this is a great time, in my opinion, to invest. Anytime that there's a red day like this, and it's a big red day, I'm always buying. You know what I mean? Even if it's $20, $30, $50, $100, it don't matter. That's dollar cost averaging. You know what I mean? So that just adds to your stash. That adds to the war chest. And I got diamond hands. I got super diamond hands. You know what I mean? I've been here since 15 and I ain't going nowhere. So I'm gonna be here for forever. And when I go, Steve gonna be the go-to. And my wife, she knows Steve number, she know the call. She hit him up, hey bro, I need your help. Da-da-da-da-da. And that's that. You know what I mean? They'll access whatever they need to access and they good. So, you know what I mean? This is how I operate. This is my mindset. I know I'm not going nowhere and I'm not letting nothing shake me out of this space. Nothing is going to I don't care if the entire market, because of a black swan, goes to zero. I'm not selling nothing. Nothing's leaving. No, nothing. I'm going to still be trying to buy. When the price is zero, I'm going to figure out, what exchange is open, how I can buy, what I need to do to continue plussing up. Because when the lights come back on, it's only going to be a couple people that survive. A lot of people going to be done sold and, lost whatever, or they just gracefully bow out. Like, listen, I'm done with this. I emotionally, I can't take this. I'm done. There's going to be a multitude of reasons why people just leave the space. But I ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Listen, Spence, you already know what time it was, bro. 2017 and 18. Listen, when we got that was a bull run. That bull run right there, that was different. And just so everybody knows, that was a speculative bull run. That means every coin, whether it had utility or not, mooned. We're talking about, and again, you know, we still don't have regulations, but there was coins I watched, literally coins do, so XRP by itself, XRP did 32,000%. 32,000%. It went from 6 thousandths of a penny all the way up to $3.86. Some exchanges were reporting up to like $4 even, but the average was $3.86. So imagine you was buying coins at that price and you had, you know, just $100. $100 would have got you 33,333 coins. And then you do the math times $3.86 per coin. You know what I mean? Same thing with Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these projects. Go back then and look at the prices and see what they was looking like. But the charts look crazy. It happened in 18. It was right after New Year's. But that time frame, like that 2-month time frame, the end of 2017 going into 18, nuts. And you was just seeing so many projects just emerging, and they was mooning everything back to back. And that's why they called it the Wild Wild West. There was a lot of projects that would come in and they was doing pump and dumps where you would get, 5,000% increase. And then the very next day or same day, the shit would just crash. Boom. Down to zero. So it's like, yo, it's a lot. And then right after it hit 20,000, it went to, you're right. It went to 35. It went to 3,500. I'd seen it lower than that. I think I might have remembered that being like $3,000 flat. And then it bounced back up to 5K, and it was fighting to get back to 10K. And I remember Ethereum, I was buying Ethereum when Ethereum was shit. I was at Afghan, I think 15. I think Ethereum was under 1,500. Ethereum was like 500, 100. I got screenshots on my phone. I'll look for it. But when I say these prices was crazy, but this is the cycles. The cycles are always going to be what they're going to be until they crash it and they bring on the new system. When everything is in place, you guys are going to see prices rise exponentially, and it's not going to be a chance for you guys to get in. This is why everybody who's here now, you're considered an early adopter. You're an early investor. And if you do this thing smart and you do this the right way, you'll be unstoppable. You'll leave a wealthy legacy for your family, man. So it's like, yo, this is real. I'm telling you from experience. Like, it hurt my soul. So I touched a lot of money. I used to have my hands in a lot of things, man, just from younger to now. You know what I mean? And I don't come from a silver spoon. I come from a great family, but I ain't come from a silver spoon. You know what I mean? My family worked hard, but I knew as a young man, I'm a hustler. I'm just bred this way. I knew I had to make something shake for me. So when I found a way to do this the legal way, and I knew this was like the cheat code for me, and I did this in Afghanistan, like in the war zone. I'm telling people that I'm seeing every single day. I'm telling them like, yo, invest in this, like to the point where I'm purple in the face. Steve was telling y'all I cried. That was real talk. No lie, no cap. That's on my soul. I used to cry because I used to be so passionate trying to tell people, and then people would give me pushback, and I'm like, yo, these are the same people I'm seeing your moms are struggling, or you having financial issues and things like this. And I'm telling you, like, this is the way to get out of it. And then when the bull run happened, everybody was like, yo, you see this? Bitcoin went from this to this. Oh, this coin went for this. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, I told you this. You know what I mean? I was putting y'all on game and y'all was blowing me off. And with me, I'm a person where, I'm a double-edged sword. Like, if I tell you something, and this is on a personal side, if I tell you something and I'm giving you this game, I'm expecting you to receive the gem, right? But I can't make you do anything. I can only tell you and know I did my part, right? That's my piece. The same people I was telling, the energy they was giving me was, whatever. All right, I hear you or heard you, and it go right in one ear, out the other. I hit him up, yo, a month later. I see him, a couple weeks later. Yo, did you ever get in on that? Oh, okay. Nah. And the answer was always, nah, man. nah, I ain't mess with it, or I ain't know what to do, or whatever, right? And I'm extending my help to everybody. A lot of people was blowing me off. The people who listen, every single one of them is multimillionaires right now. Even still in this down market, right now. Because they took the gems. They followed the market cycle. Every time it was down, they was buying the dips. They was putting their hard-earned money into the space, right? It's different times, right? We didn't have some of the same instances or occurrences that's happening now with these exchanges. We didn't have that then, but we had DeFi. So we had other ways where people were staking and they would make bread. They would take the profits out. You know what I mean? They would take a personal loan, double down on another project. It was real or risky. They was rolling the dice, but they followed the guidance. You know what I mean? They learned the space and they knew what to do. And they went from having no coins and no knowledge of the space to taking my info, building, putting in that sweat equity, and it paid off for them. You know what I mean? So this is like, yo, this is something that I tell to everybody I can, because I know this thing works. It changed my situation. And if this wasn't worth it, I promise you, me and Steve wouldn't be doing this. Like, that's how me and Steve met. We connected off of one of my mans. Like, he happened to know me and Steve. I went to school with him down south in North Carolina. So I just happened to meet him, and he was best friends with Steve's wife. You know what I mean? And I knew Steve's wife before I even knew Steve. And it just so happened, that small world, one day they called like, yo, I want you to meet my man. Both of y'all be on a crypto tip. Yo, both of y'all brainiacs. I think y'all would make an ill synergy. Literally, it took a 20-minute conversation, and the university spawned from that. So it's like, yo, if I knew crypto wasn't ever going to work, I promise you I would not be here. There's no gimmick. There's no scheme. Like, I know this is like, it's trying times, and everybody's not going to make it. You know what I mean? Harsh reality. I got to say it, though. I got to shoot from the hip. Everybody's not going to make it, because somebody's going to crumble. Somebody's going to fall pressure and crack. And they're going to say, yo, you know what? This is just too much for me. This is too stressful for me. I don't got the time. I ain't, you know what I mean? Whatever. And then when you give up, shortly after, that's when the moonshot going to happen. And then that's going to be that person's lesson. So it's like, yo, y'all in a perfect space. Y'all got the right mindset, because y'all here with us. We got the community. We a family, all brilliant minds here. Everybody focused. So when we digging and we asking y'all for information and we dropping stuff on y'all, I need y'all to interact with the posts, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Just so I know y'all there, y'all paying attention. Even if you drop an emoji on it in the Discord, whatever. I just need to make sure that y'all there and y'all paying attention. Like, some of this stuff, like, y'all, I mean, I had this stuff for days, so I was able to send certain things, but you know what I mean? I might not get no response on the post, and then somebody else will drop the post, and then I'll see it. So I just want to make sure, like, y'all seeing my post when we in the Discord. All right, so listen.
I see them all the time.
Appreciate that, man. Now that I know y'all seeing it, you know what I mean? Interact with it. I don't need a full story. You don't have to tell me too much. Even if you don't understand it, say that. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to judge you. And I'll make sure that. Steve will make sure that. Like, because we see y'all post, no matter what we got going on, no matter what we're trying to build, it's just important to us to know that y'all still there, y'all still rocking, y'all on point. You know what I mean? And that y'all paying attention. Because Barbara's super sharp. She come in and she drop bombs. Wolf, I see Hot Rod, Apex, Tone, you super sharp in there, Kiera. Like, all y'all be on point, and I see y'all dropping stuff to the point where sometimes I smile. Like, this is transparency moment. I'll look at the Discord and I just smile like, yo, this is so dope. Like, they dropping stuff before I am. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing this stuff in real time, and then to the point where sometimes I might be working on something else, and I hear the ding, the notification. I look over and I see Barbara drop something, and I'm like, yo, this is wild. Like, I'm getting news from y'all. So that's not made up. That's official. So when we see that hits the heart. That's real. I definitely appreciate that, because that means everybody's paying attention. So now, in these times, it's even more imperative, because people panic. And when they panic, they get stressed out, they just leave, they give up. That's the nature of people. And it's been a couple people who've left the group. they've left Skype University, they left the Discord. You know what I mean? And we talked to them, you know what I mean? Hey, was it, you know, we asked like, you know, hey, why did you leave? Da 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 da. And they'll explain to us, oh man, this is like, it's just too much. It's like it's too overbearing. I don't understand it. Da da da. Like they'll give us their reasoning. And we talk to them. Some people rejoin and they'll say, yo, you know what? I shouldn't have just gave up. I got frustrated and I left. But just think about that. If nobody ever said nothing to them and they just left, they would be gone for good. So it's people that's, you know, they might be on this call now. They left, they got frustrated, they left, and then they came right back. But then there's some people who left and they was just like, yo, listen, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? I'll come back later. Like right now ain't the time. And we respect that. You know what I mean? We're not forcing nobody to stay, but if you give up in these times, the reward is going to feel 1,000,000 times better when you know you went through hell to get to the rainbow, to get to the pot of gold. You feel me? So it's like, that's why I'm on y'all and I'm super passionate about this, because it be the times be like rough, like trying to keep up with all of this. You know what I mean? And we freedom fighting and we preaching to our people and trying to get people to kind of open their minds up, understand what's going on, and we being silenced and all that stuff. Is like, yo, that's a lot, man. That's heavy. Steve is more vocal. He tell y'all, you know what I mean? Me, I kind of keep it to myself, and I just like, at the end of the day, it's just like, yo, I might be by myself. My wife she might be at work, or my son be outside somewhere. At the top of my lungs, I scream, ah! Get it off my chest, take a deep breath, and go right back in the crib. My neighbors probably be like, yo, he bugging. He out here wilding. I don't care. That's how I cope. That's how I navigate. That's how I get through it. And I still can keep the same bounce, the same energy, the same tenacity. It's like, yo, we need it, because right now, man, these times is rough. And it's just outside of crypto. Like, you know what I mean? Just making sure everybody's okay. Tapping in. You know, a couple people might get sick. You might get the flu, COVID, whatever happens. We checking in on each other because we a family. This ain't just about crypto. You know what I mean? So if somebody ain't feeling good, we tap in. Yo, you good? You all right? Yo, check the health and wellness channel, because we dropping gems in there too. Yo, take this, take CMOS, take elderberry, take black seed. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know, get your bitters, all that type of stuff. We putting all that out for a purpose. You know what I mean? Because this ain't just about just crypto. Like, y'all know that already. Y'all know that by now. We a family and we gonna keep it that way. So at the end of the day, like, I appreciate y'all. I want to, keep talking. Because I have y'all here for another hour. But nah, real talk, we definitely appreciate y'all. We love y'all. You know what I mean? And we just gonna keep at it, man. We ain't stopping. We got so much more to go. And we know it's trying times, but hang in there. You know what I mean? Your future self gonna love you for it. So if we don't got nothing else, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this recording. I'm gonna cut this, and it's a dub for the night.